evening and thanks for joining us. A Calgary mother has been charged following the death of her 7-year-old son earlier this year. The woman was treating her son's strep infection with herbal remedies, and police say she refused suggestions to take him to a doctor. Megan Grant has more.
Friends and family say 7-year-old Ryan Lovett was a beautiful, energetic, unforgettable child.
Ryan was one of the most delightful 7-year-old children you would ever meet in your life. He was brilliant and beautiful and talented.
Ryan and his mother, Tamara Lovett, lived here in a basement suite. 8 months ago, Ryan was rushed to hospital in full cardiac arrest. He died of a strep infection. Police say for the last 10 days of his life, Ryan was bedridden and that his mother ignored friends' warnings to get him to a doctor. Instead, police say she was treating him at home with herbal remedies. Last night, she was arrested, charged with failing to provide the necessaries of life and criminal negligence causing death.
If you do not provide medical attention to your sick child, you will be held accountable.
Juliette Guichon is a medical ethicist. She says this highlights the legal responsibility parents have to keep their kids safe and healthy.
The reasonably prudent person would have done is the standard. So does this person fall below the reasonably prudent standard?
Lovett's father says police aren't telling the whole story.
She totally loved and totally respected and totally cared for that child, and she would never have done anything to put that child in harm's way.
Police are hopeful other parents take heed.
It should absolutely serve as a warning to other parents. And the message is quite simple. If your child is sick, take them to see a doctor.
Don Lovett says the family will fight this charge. He's hired a lawyer and his daughter has already been released from custody. Tamara Lovett makes her first court appearance next month. Megan Grant, CBC News, Calgary.
70 people are homeless after a fire burned through trailers in the troubled First Nation community of Attawapiskat. A state of emergency has been declared and evacuation flights have now begun. Those affected will be taken to Kapuskasing and housed in shelters. People had been living in the temporary trailers in Attawapiskat since their homes were destroyed in a sewage collapse in 2009. Well, a new grant will help give seniors in northwestern Ontario some more support. The Senior Community Grant Program will provide funding to not-for-profit community groups. The funds will allow for projects that encourage greater social inclusion, volunteerism, and community engagement. This is the first program in Ontario to support only seniors. Well, a walk was organized after social chaos in the downtown South Core and racism that was ignited following the fire on the James Street Swing Bridge. Close to 40 people walked together from City Hall to Patterson Park yesterday, showing that they care about their neighborhood and want to see change. The Peace Walk was organized by local business owner Shelby Chung. She's witnessed vandalism and public intoxication outside the window of her Victoria Avenue store. She felt the walk was an opportunity for people to get together and show respect for each other.
I mean, I have pipe dreams of everybody living kumbaya, but that's not reality. The reality is I would like to see a little bit more respect in this area from the business owners to the people who live and the marginalized people who live in this area. It's not only about they disrespect us by the urination and the fecal matter, it's our respect towards them. What are we doing to help them?
Among those taking part in the walk was Mayor Keith Hobbs and his family. Hobbs felt it was important to support a group looking to build a safe neighborhood in an area with a lot of challenges.
Both called it a ghetto, and we want to try and make it safer. It was great when there was a certain bar closed last week for a week. It made a big difference, and we're looking at things like lighting. We're looking at lighting up storefronts and bringing business back possibly at night. This group has come up with a lot of ideas.
Hobbs says the city has worked hard on the North Core, and he believes it's time to pay attention to the South Core. Well, it looks like an early Christmas for the Thunder Bay Regional Health Sciences Center as they accepted a large donation today to add a new ophthalmology machine to their arsenal. The Lions Club donated over $100,000 to the hospital to ensure that the Lions Vision Care Center can afford a new Luminous Vision One multicolored laser system, which will be the first of its kind in northwestern Ontario. The machine can treat optical diseases, retinal tears and holes, along with many other serious eye issues. Wait times for patients will decrease tremendously.
The ophthalmologists are ecstatic about this. They really appreciate all the work that all the members do in the Lions clubs. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to buy these pieces of equipment right from day one. Since 1998, all the pieces of equipment have been helped purchased by the Lions clubs in Thunder Bay and Northwestern Ontario.
The Lions Club plans to start pooling more money for a future investment. The Thunder Bay branch of the Canadian Red Cross is giving away a new vehicle this winter as part of a popular fundraiser. This is the 19th year for the Northern Raffle, and this year's grand prize is a 2014 Nissan Murano. The winner has the choice of taking the vehicle or $25,000 cash. Mayor Keith Hobbs attended the raffle's launch this past week and purchased the first tickets. A total of 4,000 tickets are up for grabs at $10 a piece. Raffle coordinator Rebecca Snyder says all money raised stays right here for situations like the May 2012 flood disaster.
We raise money for our disaster management program, which provides aid to people if they've been affected by a flood or a fire. So all of those proceeds will go to helping those people in the first 72 hours. We raised $30,000 last year, and we're hoping to raise $40,000 this year.
Along with the vehicle, the raffle includes a second prize of a new Polaris ATV and 5 third prize draws for $1,000 each. The big draw happens on March 16th, and tickets are now on sale at several locations around the city, including Halfway Motors, Northern Credit Union, and at the local Red Cross office. Well, people often refer to them as the hub of any small community in Canada. After 40 years of hockey games, figure skating, and other activities, the Atikokan Arena is in need of significant repairs and upgrading. Town Council is currently working on a plan to keep the arena operational for another 40 years. The mayor says hockey season will not be interrupted as Town Council moves towards investing in repairs to the existing structure. At this time, Atikokan lacks the funding to build a new arena. The estimated cost to build a new facility would be between $10 and $15 million. Moving forward, Council is waiting on a report on the first phase of the renovations. It's expected that $3 to $3.5 million will be spent, with a few added improvements. There's also talk of having ice during the summer in order to generate revenue for the municipality.
The present facility, we would like to expand the ice surface within the present structure. We'd like to do new mechanical and electrical systems, and we would like to be able to put in new dressing rooms.
Brown says the new change rooms would be built to accommodate both the arena and the community pool. If all goes well, construction is to begin next spring of next year with a new ice surface in 2015. Cliffs Natural Resources has announced plans to halt development of its chromite project indefinitely. The company will also close its Thunder Bay office, a Toronto office, and its exploration campsite. For our question of the day, we wanted to know if you thought the Ring of Fire will ever move ahead after this decision.
Well, sure, it'll go ahead. They'll find somebody else to take their place. It's obviously they will find someone else to take their place. They're not the only one in town. You know, they're big, but somebody else will take their place, guaranteed. The project is too big to fail.
I think it's going to go ahead. The minerals and the value is still going to be in the ground. Somebody's going to mine them.
Well, it will, because it's in the best interest. In our best interest. Ontario wants this. People want to get to work. But it's going to take the right leadership.
I don't know. It doesn't sound like it because it's taken so long already. It's too bad, though.
Knowing big-time business people, I'm sure someone else will either follow right in behind or something will happen for sure. Yeah. I don't know what. I'm not in that. But anyway, you know yourself. Things like that come along and it gets better.
Well, if you love your pets, you're probably going to want to know how to look after them if something were to happen. Thanks to St. John's Ambulance, a one-day workshop can help you do just that. The organization has revamped their pet first aid course and has begun running a day-long session every 2 months or so, teaching you everything you need to know to look after your pet. The course goes over how to assess a situation, restrain your animal, provide CPR, and even help with choking, major bleeding, and poisoning. The course mainly focuses on cats and dogs, but the skills are in a large part transferable to others.
A lot of the principles are the same, and it's the same as humans. A lot of the principles that we as humans use with our first aid are the same for dogs, the same for cats. We're just talking about a slightly different body makeup.
The program brings in vet techs and rescue workers, but it's mostly pet owners to enjoy learning how to look after their animal companions. If you have any spare dresses you're looking to get rid of, or if you want to add a new one to your wardrobe, this fundraiser is for you. The Who Gives a Frock event will be raising money for the Children's Center Foundation by hosting an auction night on January 23rd. The second annual event has ladies all over town bringing in gently used dresses to get $5 off the $40 entry fee. All the dresses will be up for sale or auction at the event, and the variety is sure to spark some interested buyers.
Well, we asked for gently used. I think we've had a really good selection of sort of evening wear, long dresses, short dresses for evening wear as well, and like workwear as well.
You can still donate a dress to the Loop anytime up until January